I'm Dorothy Fahrmeier, grandma of the family, and I come here just to have something to do, and I enjoy it a lot. Well, they're going to have to do something to keep the family farm going, because it doesn't make it crop farming anymore, unless you're big enough, and we just weren't big enough. So this was part of the alternative.
I'm Ron Fahrmeier, and this is my wife Joan, and we live on a family farm that was purchased. My parents purchased the original farm in the 40s. It was a grain livestock farm. We sold ready-to-eat pork and beef to the Kansas City stockyards, which is no longer there. Didn't have enough acres to be viable row crop and cattle operation, so that's when the winery come into the situation.
Brandon and Bradley, and Brett to a point, had thought about grapes while they were at Mizzou, at Les Joie, I believe that's where they spent a lot of time, unbeknownst to their parents.
At the time.
I'm Brandon Fahrmeier with Fahrmeier Family Vineyards and Fahrmeier Farms. Went to college and was a school teacher for a few years and was offered an opportunity out in eastern Ohio in corporate world and sales. I basically traveled 22 states and decided that once I had kids I really needed to move home. Well, when you move home to the farm, you know, nobody wants to give up their income, and so my opportunity was to start a winery because I had been making wine in my basement and as a hobby. And so it just felt like it was a natural fit to kind of the agritourism part of the farm with the vegetables and school tours, things like that we're already doing.
In January 2008, there was 20 head of cows standing in this barn, looking out that door over there. And in November 2008, we served the first glass of wine.
There's no place around in small towns for people to hang out anymore. So this kind of seems to be their hangout.
I remember them calling me and saying, "Mom, a band in Lexington wants to play on Memorial Day." And I'm thinking, we don't want to go there. And we did. And that particular band brought in, what, 200, 300 people? That first night.
Some of them spend the whole day here, just drinking wine, and they walk around through the vineyards and seem to enjoy themselves.
The people that come here, they love this barn. They love the character of it. They love, and it's just a barn to us. We've lived here Ron and I've lived here for 40 years and don't think there's much glamorous of it, but when people come from the city, they want to experience what we take for granted.
I'm Brett Fahrmeier from Fahrmeier Farms in Lexington, Missouri. The biggest thing with agriculture is it's changing. Food system back to the 1940s. 1940s, 1930s, you used to eat what you could local, and that's really what you had because there wasn't an interstate system to ship anything. Now we're finding our population's reverting back to that mentality because of fuel cost. Energy. Energy's so high and fuel's going to be so high that you can't do it. In Europe, for example, it's very localized because they're talking $9.50 a gallon for fuel. It's not economical and it's not affordable for them to ship anything. So where we're finding our customers, one, they want to know where their food came from. Two, they want to know, is it local and is it fresh? Still in Lexington, we have to have cops, we have to have, fire department, and if you're spending all those tax dollars and they're going to Florida, or they're going to, to buy Florida tomatoes or California tomatoes or strawberries or, something like that. They're going from the shopping place back to California. Our dollars aren't staying in our community. So that's another way why people are wanting to shop local and buy local. Why wouldn't you want to buy from your neighbor?
My name is Chris Raggi. I'm the Director of Solar Design for Cromwell Environmental. When we did our initial site visits for the Fahrmeier family, we went to the property and looked around for a good building to mount the solar panels to. When we weren't able to find a perfect building, we decided to build one. What we came up with for them was a solar support structure that could function as a patio cover as well. This patio cover holds 52 solar panels. These panels are making 12,000 watts of solar power at their peak. This system is connected to inverters that seamlessly integrate this power into their whole electrical system. This reduces their monthly bill by about $130 per month. At times during the day, it's actually turning their meter backwards, which is pretty cool. They were pretty happy about that. We installed 2 of these solar support structures. One as a patio cover at the winery, and the other one as an equipment shelter down at their farm. On each of these systems, we installed an online monitoring system. This system will automatically alert us if there's ever a problem with either system. It also lets their guests go to their website and take a look at how much carbon dioxide they've avoided emitting. It also lets them see even how much money they've saved, how many panels are in the system. It also shows them a picture of the system. Another great thing about this online monitoring system is that if you have an iPhone, if the client has an iPhone, and I have an iPhone, and it lets me just look on here real quick and look at the daily output, see how the system's doing. I can kind of get a good idea even of what the weather's been like in the area.
We're working to be sustainable so the boys have a place to be when they're our age, and we're trying to be as green as we can, to quote the new phrase, green. So the solar panels that we put up hopefully are getting us a little closer to that situation.
And it's the same thing with the food. If we can, as we use the high tunnels, we're getting it so that you can buy Missouri locally grown produce. Grandpa believed in being totally self-sufficient, and they were self-sufficient in the 20s and in the 50s. I mean, they produced their own eggs, they even produced their own cheese. Now, I'm not going that far, but I wouldn't say we wouldn't try it.
The biggest thing we use in produce is coolers and packing houses and stuff like that. And the biggest problem around here is we're trying to transition a farm from corn and soybeans and cows and pigs to produce and wine, and the infrastructure is not there. So you're taking an old farmhouse and you're turning it into a packing shed or a winery and trying to make it efficient. And that's one of the key things where solar power for us down the road will be key, because it's hard to make things efficient. And old 1930s pig barn is not probably the most efficient heating and cooling thing in the world, but you use what you got to do what you need to do.
I mean, I guess what I would say about Cromwell Environmental, in my opinion, they made it so easy. I mean, it really, when it comes down to it, it was just seamless. I mean, it was a great opportunity in all aspects. As far as the sales process was easy, we understood what we were getting, and I mean, it was just it was like they just appeared almost. Finished is, I guess, would be the best way that I could sum up the scenario. And we don't even realize they're there. I mean, they're part of the farm. I mean, the project, when it was completed, they look like they were meant to be there. And I think that's what solar panels and anything that's green should be. You shouldn't know that they're there. They should just become part of the lifestyle.
Turn that off.